You see that action scene at the beginning where they were fighting? I was not impressed by that at all. If you watch that film, you will know that breast is not original. Now fake Bobby. You could have casted people who could speak real, original, authentic Yoruba. You can tell that they were struggling with their lines, and that alone is a disservice to the Yoruba language. Yo, what's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about House of Gaa. House of Gaa is the story of the man called Gaa himself. You know, he is a warlord in the late old Oyo Empire who was very powerful for, of course, fighting battles. He had his sons representing him in different settlements across the southwest and even outside, you know, the locality all the way to Dahomey, you know, and this was a very powerful man who was also making kings. But the truth is that, let me track back a little bit to who made this film. I'm talking about nobody else but Bolanle Austin-Peters, who has been killing it since the days of Bling Lagosians. If you remember Bling, if you haven't seen Bling Lagosians, you go and check it out. To Olufumlayo Ransome-Kuti, which was a biopic of Fela's mother, who was an amazing woman. I mean, I think those are stories well told. Olufumlayo Ransome-Kuti's story is an original story, whereas Bling Lagosians was a fictional story. My own challenge now with House of Gaa that I'm talking about is the fact that it is an original story, but because you feel like you have creative license, they decided to just do some things that I became uncomfortable with. And I remember in the early 2000s or late 90s, I saw the old version of Gaa that was made in the old Nollywood, and I thought that one was more authentic. That story was more authentic compared to this current House of Gaa. But if I'm going to give props to her for this film, I'm going to give props to her for casting Femi Branch particularly, because if not for Femi Branch, who played Gaa himself, that film probably wouldn't have made as much impact as he did, because he was able to perform that character, that role, very well from top to bottom. Now, apart from him, I think every other thing in that film I was not so comfortable with. The people that played the chief, all the chief in the film, I think they did well. But then his sons, they could have casted people who could speak Yoruba. They could have casted people who could speak real, original, authentic Yoruba, not people who you can tell that they were struggling with their lines, and that alone is a disservice to the Yoruba language. Personally, that's my opinion. I think it's a disservice to the Yoruba language, because how can you have people speaking Yoruba? Just like we complain about what they do in Hollywood, where they cast people for Yoruba roles and they can't speak Yoruba.
Oya, Ibolewa, Bossy Bibai.
And we made a Yoruba film, and the people that you casted still can't speak Yoruba properly. Come on. That was, for me, that was a letdown in the film. Another thing that was a letdown is the opening scene where you had warriors wearing Persian costumes. Like, why are they wearing Persian costumes to fight a battle in the southwest of Africa? That also didn't sit well with me, because you could have gotten a better costume, a more authentic costume. You are telling an original story, for crying out loud. Yes, I know you have creative license. I know you have the freedom to, you know, add one or two things, but not in the area of costume. Like, it's not authentic. Okay, so there's a nude scene in this film that I want to highlight. It is the sex scene, or it wasn't a sex scene, but it is a scene between Gaa himself and the Dahomey slave that was captured and that he stamped his feet upon. I want to talk about that nude scene where they took off her dress. Please, if you watch that film, you will know that breast is not original. Now, fake Bobby. They put fake breast in the film for us to watch. And there's no, except you are not paying attention, you will know that those boobs are not real. But I like it though. I like it. Why I like it is because we can actually push the envelope in our films now going forward. Yes, these are things that happen. Why can't we see it? You know, we can actually push the envelope and, you know, just show. So if I was going to make my own film and there's a scene like that, now so I will show them. The only thing is that, can I afford to pay an actor to agree to show their nude? Another part that I liked And the reason why I like this part is because killing people with knife has not been over the time executed well in Nigerian films, but in this one, that scene where he slashed the throat of one of those chiefs, the way he slashed it, the way it was done, the way it was executed, the way the blood came out, I loved it. It was well done. That is how you do visual effects. That's how you execute visual effects, where you cut someone and it looks real and the blood spills. So if I'm going to talk about some really nice things in the film, these are specific things that I can pick out of the film that I thought was quite impressive. Big shout out to Femi Branch. I think he killed his role. I think he was really good. I actually watched the film to the end because of him. If not for him, I don't think I would be able to survive so many things that happened in that film, particularly the guy that played his son, the last one, the favorite son. I think he's a good actor, but sadly he couldn't speak Yoruba, and they used his voice to narrate the film. And I was just cringing the entire time because the Yoruba was not sitting well with me, you know. But overall, if I was going to rate this film, I'd probably give it a 5.5, like 6 over 10, particularly because of Femi Branch. You see that action scene at the beginning where they were fighting? I was not impressed by that at all. One, the costume pissed me off. Secondly, the sword fights. I was just saying clown. No better. Like, nobody is stabbing anybody and blood spilling out. Nobody is shooting anybody. They didn't even see proper fight sequence. Because it's a war that had so many crowds doesn't mean you can't have good fight sequences. All you have to do is shoot it properly. You know, but these are bits of the film that I highlighted that I think you should check out and come to this comment section and tell me whether you agree with what I'm saying or not. Great story, great film. Go and check out House of Gaa.